What is up, everybody? We're here to record a late night video. Currently, as of Eastern time, it is currently around 9:15 p.m. So this is a pretty late video that's coming out here. That's because I want to deep dive into these models here, and we're gonna be looking at the GFS, which is going to be basically talking about the climate. So right now, as you can see here, we have a okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, so you can see, and it looks like here that you have a trough that looks like it's having cold and snow into the northeastern United States and a ridge going up into the western part of the United States. Now, we're gonna move this along here. And as you can see, we can see it moving, and by tomorrow, we can see a low 994 low pressure center moving into the area, bringing some snow and rain to a lot of the Great Lakes region up into Canada. Moving around, and a half days from now, you can see that this low tends to weaken and kind of move out of the region. And by the next day, this looks like this system has fully developed into a strong low pressure system. As you can see, a 995 low pressure center over, I want to say, Quebec, and this bringing rain and snow to a majority of the Northeast. Moving this along to around, I believe, the 21st, we can see that this low has really strengthened off the coast of Maine and is bringing heavy snow and rain to Maine areas and some scattered snow showers throughout the region. Now you can see a very high pressure is in the region, and we can see a new storm moving west along the jet stream, which kind of looks like this. So as you can see. So it looks like it's bringing snow, rain, and you can see some severe thunderstorms firing off near Texas on the 21st. Let's see. 72. Okay, so roughly around on the 22nd here, we are going to be moving into a giant low pressure. I mean, it doesn't have a big low, but you can see it has very strong thunderstorms moving in. There were some other thunderstorms. I mean, running this back here a bit, you can see that, like, these thunderstorms here, this kind of looks like I would say, like, maybe not, this might not become a tropical system, but this is definitely this is like a subtropical system right here. This looks like, because it's very like scattered thunderstorms, and these will move into the close to Florida. Meanwhile, now while there isn't any low, there's just general low pressure in this area, bringing heavy snow and rain to the Midwest. And as we move this along here, as you can see, these two kind of merge together to create a big storm. By maybe around by the 23rd of March. Moving this along here, as you can see, we're going to be moving, and then eventually on the 23rd here, you can see a huge storm that moves up the coast here. 1006 millibars, you can still see some of the storms in Florida, but heavy snow and mix in the northeast, mid-Atlantic, even into the southeast. By the time we reach the 24th, as you can see, this has become a nor'easter and heavy, and I mean heavy snow trended. I mean, we could see snow upwards of like 8 inches over that area. Meanwhile, we have another pretty strong low up the coast here that's kind of moving into the Rockies. The jet stream is looking somewhere like this, and it's kind of in a stable pattern like that. That is, until this storm develops and moves through. As you can see, the cold was receding, a very strong 984, and a pretty big storm. You can actually still see this you can actually still see this, hold on a minute. You could still see this, like, low pressure up there, but yeah, this has mainly become our main over the west, and as you can see, the jet stream is looking somewhat like this. So, looking at the next, looking by the time we get to the 26th, this thing has developed into a full-blown storm. Looks like we could, I would think this is some severe weather. Only saying snow ridging at the top. And as you can see, this just develops as a warm ridge builds into the east and cold sets into the west. And this eventually dries off, but I can assume on the 27th, that's 9 days from now, that we could have something brewing, as you can see on the models suggesting very heavy thunderstorms in Dixie Alley. Moving this along, we can see another storm building off the coast here, and there's some very heavy rain just building around here, this area. And this will move east, and eventually you can see another storm into the Midwest, and that could build even further. Now, as you can see, this kind of develops into, like, you know, because the jet stream is going way north. The jet stream is going way north, remember, as we transition to La Nina. This becomes a full-blown system at a 997 with a clear defined cold front, bringing along some rain, snow, whatever, basically, over to the... And then you can see... hold on, let me rewind this here a bit. Back to the 29th, you can see this develop, and then by the 30th, we can see this low pressure system. Hold on, let me back this up a bit more, because I feel like we can, okay, hold on. Yeah, this is where I would like to stop. The 29th, as you can see, some things building, and then on the 30th, as you can see, this low is clearly defined cold front, snow, rain, all the stuff that you'd like to see. However, you can see, as this moves up the coast, something right here looks like a surface low is brewing. By the time we get to the 31st, this is a massive storm, producing severe weather, I would assume, down here, as you can see. And snow in the north. By the time we get to April 1st, happy fools, this looks like a monster. A 985 central pressure center. That is a massive storm. Look at this storm. This is insane. I would expect moderate to high risks for those areas, and heavy snow, well over a foot. Moving on to April 2nd, this just becomes an absolute monster. As you can see, it quickly moves through the region. By the time we get to April 2nd, this thing's almost gone. It's low 995, and it's still stretching into Michigan and having pretty heavy rain effects. But as we move into April 2nd, you can see another surface low developing here. And this looks like it could be another storm by the time we get to the 3rd. And yep, I was right, heavy snow and rain coming to the region, so just non-stop battle. And by the time we get to the end of model guidance here, you can see heavy snow, sleet, rain, whatever. This is some heavy stuff we're going to be seeing. I mean, you might want to take this with a pinch of salt, because remember, this is like maybe like 15-16 days out. I mean, this is like way at the end here. You can see 384. That's what you can see. I want to bring your attention though mainly to the to the 3rd, where you can see this sort building up. Then you can see this massive, like, 2 back-to-back strong surface lows. You can see in maybe 3 days of each other. That is insanely fast. That's like. And then I want to go to the hurricane ones real quick. Let's go to the GFS. We have 2, and that's called 18S. Looking at it from out here, it's not. I mean, okay, this is it right here. So 18, yep, as you can see, this is it right here. And as you can see, it's gonna move. This actually looks like a concerning cell here, because 18S, looking at it here, 18S looks like to get a very strong pressure center. This looks very concerning, around 970, 990. The good news is that running the models along here, this I don't think it's gonna hit any area regions. Let's go to just let's go to the Atlantic. Can you go to the Atlantic? Like the good, yes, tropical Atlantic here. So we're going to be looking at this main area here, as you can see, running this along, because this is where hurricanes mainly develop. We don't see much, as you can see. Those are the storms that are coming along from the other. You could just see them barreling along. Until we see something right there, which I could be concerned about there, which I think should be a concern. So yeah, that's what you basically could see here. Yeah, that's what you definitely could see. Now going into the hurricane, we're going to go to Mega 19P, which either is on a body of land. I have no clue where it is. We're going to go to the 6 hour. Yes, as you can see, this thing's pretty strong. And again, getting to that low, whoa, hitting something. It hit something. Yeah, this thing is not going to be lasting long. Getting a pressure of 991. Yeah, I don't think that thing's going to last long. However, going over to the climate, we're going to go to the CPS Weekly here. And as this is what you can look at. So you can see, of course, cold dominating the east. But as we run this along here, this is an ensemble model. So this is like all models put together. So looking at this, we're going to be moving this along here. And I don't know how, but we go from this. This is weekly, okay? This is weekly, I believe. I'm going to try to move it. Hold on. Let me try to see if I can do weekly. Yeah, we're going to do weekly. Week 1, and then week 2, as you can see. Going from this one, where you can see it's nice and chilly, like that. Then you can see a massive, like 12 degrees above normal in most parts of the Northeast. For my area, I'm not gonna say my area because I don't want my location getting out there on the internet. Because I'm posting this to YouTube. Week 3, this is what I think is supposed to get averaged out here, because there is no way we're gonna see a pattern like this. No. And then week 4, you can see a bit of cold bubbling around the mid-Atlantic region. I don't know what this could lead to. As of week 5, it kind of dissipates and just kind of consumes. Yeah, this is where it gets averaged out. This is literally where it gets averaged out. I don't expect much. Now this is like based on climatology here, so we're gonna look at each month until February 2025. So March 24th here, you can see warm through the northeast in a cold bubble. As we move into April, this kind of becomes averaged out and mainly just warm across the north and then averaged out across everywhere else. May looks like we can start to see some cold coming up into the summer. As you can see, a bubble of cold sitting over the northeast, New England, and Michigan. June sees a very, maybe because of the jet stream, but I have no clue, because that does not look like an actual. Yeah, then just July, August. Yeah, I don't think these really come until very averaged out. You can just see, this gets very averaged out until we can see a bubble of cold bubbling here in the fall, which I don't know what that could lead to. Which in November we can see like heavy, like a warm bubble, but we could also see a cold bubble that doesn't do anything, and for some reason looking like a really warm winter until this cold bubble bubbles in. And what makes me think here is that with this, I don't think this will happen. One, because of a northern jet stream, I think this might be a bit more. I think this would go like a bit more. But I feel like this cold could maybe bubble and create storms. There's no way the jet stream's gonna be that far north this winter, so I don't think that would happen. So yeah, but I wouldn't trust that if I were you. Good news is we got this model here, so you can see like models here, and we can move this along. As you can see, this is for March 2024 by the NMME. This will be nice and like, so you can see this area here, like warmth, and then cold over the west, warmth over like the whole country, and then yeah, they basically all follow the same thing, but I think that's because they're getting averaged out. I really don't think that's gonna, like really, I don't. But we're gonna look at CBS monthly here, and this looks okay. Looking at April, yeah, there's no way. There's no way that's gonna happen. I'm telling you guys right now. Don't think that's gonna happen because it's not. I'm gonna tell you that. But let's look at the other ones. As you can see, this one I like the best. This one I like because I think it looks good, and it has the warmth. So you can see a cold bubble developing over the ridge areas, and this will move, and then we can see a weird trough sitting in the east. This will looking like here. This will get to this area, and then past that point, the cold kind of sits, and it beats out the warm air. Well, this cold bubble is really strong. Over the next few days, you can see this cold bubble really strong until it kind of dissipates out the region. I mean, looking at this here, you can see it's a bit warm. This is from the 15th, by the way. But you can see by the 18th, that cold bubble is really set in. And I think the cold bubble strongest will probably be around the 20th. So if 20th, you can see the strongest of the cold bubble. However, as we move into the 22nd, you can see. Why does it keep on? Okay, pause. I'm gonna pause it so you can see right here. This looks like the cold is going away. I mean, it's still up here in the north, but it looks like some warm is forming in. I don't know what that's doing down in Texas. So yeah, I don't know what that is. Okay, the EC fast. So looking at the ECWMF, this is just based on climatology. And then yeah, I think that might be just the same thing. Yep, it is. The AIRFS. This goes way longer, so let's go. Currently, you can see a cold bubble over the east. As you move this along, you can see the cold bubble really developing before some warm sits in the east. Before we have a massive ridge happening on the 26th. As you can see, this strong ridge in the east combined with a strong cold in the west will fire up some definite severe storms. So I'd be looking out for that. But then, it looks like the jet stream is going to literally go haywire, as we have a very strong ridge in the south before it. Like, this jet stream is wild. Literally, look at this. The jet stream's going to go woo, woo. Like, there's no way that's going to happen. So, I really don't feel like that's going to happen, and, yeah. That's going to be really hard. And then the cold bubble warms out, and it's just going to be a series of cold and warm and cold and warm. Literally warm, cold, warm, cold. You can listen to the cold bubble developing. So, it's just going to be really walking and rolling. Like, that's going to be really far out here. So, yeah. That's really fast. The GFS. It's loading, okay. So you can see, okay, let's go to 000. So you can see the cold bubble, that thing. And the cold bubble really gets strong, and then you can see the warm shortly for a period before the cold takes back. And then you could just see out of nowhere this really strong ridge develops. The GFS seems to exaggerate it more, and then the cold less. But then, either way, the cold forces out the warm until another ridge develops. And this is going to cause some severe storms. The GFS is predicting it more eastern-like. But eventually, I don't know what they're saying for the last part of this. That is wild. You're not telling me that jet stream's going to do that. That I've never seen that happen. And I've been forecasting weather for a couple of years now. And that is not going to happen. Let's look at the CMC. we're gonna be rewinding this here to the 0, 0 mark. And as you can see, they basically say the same thing. Cold bubble, yeah. Then mini warm. Then as you can see, that's weird because like the worm just comes through and is like, oh, I'm here, and then literally just goes ballistic and completely messes the cold. Oh, we just want to talk about the jet stream here. It's like normal jet stream like this, and then it flies north, which makes me to believe that this is like a mega block here, because there's no way this would have formed on its own. So maybe something high pressure wise, and you can literally see purples that say, is this Celsius or Fahrenheit? I don't know, but either this is really warm. Oh, boom! The cold has got. Look, you can see a little cold bubble getting in there. So. The Navgem, which I don't know if I trust. So you can see the cold bubble here, and this moves along, and these guys are predicting pretty much the warmth and not like the cold to be way stronger. Like the cold is supposed to, like they're predicting the cold to be really bad, but the warmth not the R.A.C.E one. I'm not gonna try to predict that. I don't know that stuff yet, and me neither I do. Okay, let's try to. Okay, this is vorticity. I know what this is. Okay, hold on. I don't. They only have it the 20. Okay. Alrighty, let's see. Bing, bada, boom. This looks like. Yeah, that's just. Oh, I know exactly what this is. Hold on. I'm gonna go back to the icon to see if we can get. Yeah, we can get a longer. Okay. So let me go 0, 0. So you can see. This is basically like where the jet stream is. So you can see the jet stream dip. It just seems then flatlines out in the north. Then, yeah, it only goes like it doesn't go that far out. That's sad. I know. But it's sad. Thermodynamics. We're gonna do the temperature shaded. So, looking at this here, we can see cold. As you can see, this is just mainly the U.S. cold over the northeast. So if you live in the blue regions, it's probably below freezing for you, except if you live in like those really light green regions. And we're gonna be putting this right here. And as you can see, there's like cold and green. And then this will dip. As you can see, the temperature gets really chilly. If you live in parts of like northern New York and Maine, that's gonna get down to the lower 20s. Possibly into the teens, but then this comes back up before the temperature nosedives. As you can see, parts of Maine can see temperatures in the single digits on the 22nd. However, this is supposed to recede, so I wouldn't say. This is just like, yeah, this is basically the same thing. As you can see, cold and warm. We're gonna get the 500 millibar. Alrighty, you can see ridges and troughs. Let me go to the 0, 0 mark again. So you can see this is like the dip in the jet stream. So as you can see, you can literally see the lows drive the jet stream too. And you could literally see that. I mean, it only lasts like 120 hours though. So yeah. You can see that low there, ride it, and then it dissipates off, and then nothing comes. You can see the lows also riding this jet stream, because that will also be low. The lower dynamics, let's do the 10-meter wind. This will be like, oh, I don't want to do that. So actually, precipitation and moisture. Let's do total snowfall. Over these areas, you can see that we're getting like some pretty snowy areas. Some areas in the green have over a foot. You know, if you live in any of these areas, I don't know how you get snow in Texas, don't ask. Yeah, you can see, why is this? Okay, so yeah, you can see the snow, mainly present over the northeast. Like, if you live in, like, these worst areas here, you can get snow, so, yeah. That's basically all I have to say for that one. The rain and frozen precipitation, this is good. This is good right here. Let's move it back to... Now, as you can see, scattered snow showers over the regions. Scattered snow showers over the northeast and rain, like, over the south. You can see this first low here over the northeast just riding and basically swirling off. Then you can see this, and then we have another low, which looks like that's a pure nor'easter. That is a pure nor'easter. That's a classic nor'easter. That you cannot tell me right now that is not a classic nor'easter. That looks like a perfect. Also, it seems like we're gonna have a storm merger here because this is just general low, and this is like a weak low pressure system. When they merge, they become really strong. So yeah. Anyways, that's the wrap of the video. I wanted to go over all of that stuff because it's pretty interesting in my opinion, and this video is pretty long, so I don't think people are gonna watch it. I don't know, just watch it, I guess. Subscribe. I don't care. I mean, if you do like the videos, please consider subscribing. Consider liking the video too, as I put a lot of work into this. And finally, hope you enjoy the video, and good night, or good morning, or wherever you live, I don't know. Anyways, bye everyone.